GMOs is a topic very few know anything about, but yet everyone seems to have an opinion concerning them. Jimmy Kimmel once did a segment following a Consumer Reports article where he went around and asked people if A, they avoided GMOs, or if B, they knew what a GMO was. Very few people were able to give him an answer at all, let alone a correct one. So for those of you who don't know what a GMO is, it is a genetically modified organism, which is any crop that has had its DNA artificially altered in some way. This allows for crops to be insect and herbicide resistant or disease resistant. There are many arguments surrounding GMOs as they have become a heated topic recently. One of the biggest arguments is whether or not products that contain GMOs should require labeling by law. This is an argument that some consumers are really passionate about, and that the biotechnology companies that produce GMOs fear. Ned Porter wrote an article in Forbes magazine that said that biotech companies fear mandatory labeling because even blandly written labels would scare off a lot of consumers. He also says that one of the reasons that the argument is so heated is because the proponents for mandatory labeling have so much emotion invested in the argument that when the biotech companies and scientists counter with facts, they just dig their heels in, so to speak. The problem that GMO labeling faces is public ignorance. Since so few people know the truth about GMOs, and the average consumer doesn't even know what a GMO is, the idea of labeling is scary to both producers and consumers. The producers don't want it because it'll scare away consumers, and many consumers fear the idea of GMOs because they don't know what they are. I think to solve the problems surrounding GMO labeling, the public should be further educated. On both sides of the argument, there are myths surrounding GMOs, and both sides of the arguments agree that the facts surrounding the myths should become common knowledge to consumers. However, very little is being done to educate the public. If the public learns the facts about GMOs and the research that is put into the production of GMOs and the testing that is conducted before they hit the shelves before consumer consumption, then the fear that the consumers hold towards GMOs will dissipate. If the consumer still has concerns, they should also be educated about their other options to avoid products that contain GMOs, such as organic foods, which by definition cannot contain GMOs. If consumers are further educated about GMOs and how to avoid them if they so choose, then there would no longer be a need to mandate labeling of GMOs. This would in turn avoid consumers having to pay a premium on groceries, which would be caused by the mandatory labeling of GMOs.